All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and here we go again. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was ready for this one right here because I knew that the time that the Supreme Court overturned everything that we all wanted to happen. So, they try to keep Trump off the ballot. And then, like I said, the Supreme Court, SCOTUS, they overturned it to keep Donald Trump on the ballot. And I knew it was going to piss off CNN, MSNBC, and we already knew The View was going to have something to say about it. We all knew this, so we already know that Sonny Hostin, Whoopi Goldberg, all of them finna go ahead and cry victim, probably throw their little threats out there like they always do. They always threatening Donald Trump, saying, and then Whoopi made a little dumb statement talking about, what Joe Biden can do since he's the president? He can just throw all the Republicans in jail. No, he cannot. That man can't just throw somebody in jail because he's the president. There got to be a reason. But, Whoopi, she acts so stupid and crazy on this show. It is just crazy that they let this woman just say anything. So now they're finna go ahead and cry victim because SCOTUS overturned it in Trump's favor, and they don't like it. But like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. I really, really appreciate it. And shout out to Doug. That is coming from Doug. Says Sonny Hostin get shut down by SCOTUS live on The View. I will leave the original video in the description. Make sure y'all go over to Doug. Let him know Adogg sent you. Put it in his check. Say Adogg sent me over here. Go show Doug some love. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this, and let's hear The View cry and threaten Donald Trump like they always do. So let's go here, y'all.
I am a moronic comic book artist, barely literate. Spent most of my life watching Star Wars and drawing cartoon cats. And I know more about the Supreme Court. I'm more accurate on my predictions than Sonny or any of the people on The View. Makes me so sad. Not because I feel smart, but because they're so dumb. Welcome to Doug in Exile.
Facts.
Let's get dumb together and watch The View.
The Supreme Court has just ruled unanimously that Colorado courts cannot keep you-know-who off the state's ballot for engaging in insurrection, finding that a state cannot make a call that could have a national impact on a federal election.
This looks like Whoopi is going to a dentist. She's having to mouth these words. I love it. Where's the dance at for when Trump had to extracted all that money from Democrat judges that didn't involve actual justice, and these ladies are dancing all around. Now it's time for, this is actual justice. They look like they're at a funeral.
Of course, unless it's about a woman's right to choose, but let's not get into that.
We're not going to talk about a woman's right to choose because you really mean you want to choose for a unborn woman inside the womb on whether she should exist or not. So yeah, you're right. We won't talk about that.
What do you all think of this? I mean, is anybody surprised by this decision?
No. And I actually think it was the right decision to make, because it would have, if Colorado had been allowed to do that, we'd have this chaotic sort of process where you have 50 states and some are choosing to put him on the ballot and some are choosing not to put him on the ballot. So that's why this decision was unanimous in judgment. But
it's unanimous in judgment, and it was stupid and political for it to come up. But The View didn't weigh in and say that before today. They say it now after it got overturned, but deep down inside, they were hoping.
But if you read the dissent by Justices Sotomayor and Kagan and also Jackson.
I'm sorry, you're missing a name. Who could it be? Oh, Amy Coney Barrett. You missed the conservative that is also, she's dissenting even though they voted in support of the Supreme Court. All these women did. Right. 4 ladies did. But Sonny doesn't bring up Barrett because she has to keep trying to say it is somehow political. And it's not, no matter how you look at it.
They crazy.
Sonny's political. The Supreme Court was not in this case.
They are saying the Supreme Court went too far here because they answered a question that wasn't before them. The only question that was before this court was, can a state do this? Instead, what they did was they insulated all alleged insurrectionists from future challenges to their holding federal office.
Because we know more of this was going to come from Democrats, so they weighed in on it. Future insurrectionists, no. And by the way, it was only 4 women dissented from the opinion that said future insurrectionists don't even bother trying to roll this one out. This is a Civil War era rule. It is not about what Trump is doing today or any of their opponents today.
And it is a tenet of Supreme Court law. I am a bar admitted attorney.
I make comic books.
It says what it does today, the court should have left undone. And we always learn that in law school. The Supreme Court should just answer the question before it. And I have far too much hope that the court would be united in this and not overstep in favor of Donald Trump. God. I think what we saw was a court where justices that behaved in a partisan manner.
It still wasn't partisan. She's on a united 9-0 vote. She's saying it's partisan. Sonny, no matter how you slice it, you can't do it. Keep trying. But the Supreme Court, live in front of everyone, proved you wrong.
Started to gain faith, as Sonny would tell us, like, this is going to get him. And I was like, But seeing it, I now get the chaos which would ensue. And I think it's important when you don't like the outcome, which I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah, the problem is she's saying it right there. She goes, I had faith in Sonny that she was almost right. And then history and reality proved her wrong.
Ron DeSantis actually at one point said, I'm actually looking at this in Florida now. Could we make a credible case that Biden should be removed because of whatever reason he can come? And that could be happening, as you said, in every other state.
That's all that Ron DeSantis was saying is, let's see how the Supreme Court says. Can you remove people from the ballot? Because let's get Biden off the ballot.
Yeah.
That's exactly why the Supreme Court had to rule the way they did, why it was unanimous, why it was always going to go with this way. And only anti-legal theory, anti-constitutionalist, amateur, hardened leftist, delusional people thought different.
The only place to beat Donald Trump is at the ballot box.
It's time to stop
beat him at the ballot box.
Trump with all this
Yeah,
law.
You're right. It's time to stop prosecuting him. Just like Trump said after that, the Supreme Court overruled that, Trump was extremely happy. And he literally came out and said, Joe Biden, stop using these corrupt judges that you more likely probably got on your payroll. We don't know. But Trump pretty much saying, hey, stop using Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, Alvin Bragg. Like, stop using all of these people to go after me. Just the thing is, they know Joe Biden, he can't beat Trump in no debate. He can't out-talk Trump. His policies ain't better than Trump, like nothing. Look what's going on with the border. This man can't remember sentences. I mean, just can't remember nothing. And what is he doing? More likely using Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, using all of these people to try to take down Trump because he cannot beat Trump fair and square. That's the reason why he's doing it, because he cannot beat Donald Trump. So that's why you see all of these people just going after Donald Trump. Look what this crap Letitia James them doing, trying to make him pay all this money. I mean, it's just all over the place. And then now the time that Donald Trump gets something that goes in his favor, look at Sunny Hostin them, looking like she was about to cry a few minutes ago. She up here looking like she was about to cry. I can't believe the Supreme Court did this. I don't like when they put something in Donald Trump's favor. You know why? Because they want to see bad things happen to Donald Trump. They want him to go to jail. They want him to lose in court. That's what they want. And it's just crazy that they want that to happen. Boy.
Lawfare, it didn't work, guys. Now let's get to the ballot box.
And the way to do that, yes, you have to litigate his unfitness, his anti-constitutional stances, but we also have to pay attention to the issues that the voters who are still with him care about. I think that I'm curious to hear what Joe Biden says in the State of the Union coming up later this week, but voters for the first time, the majority are saying border security matters to us. They're saying the economy matters, and we've seen...
That's the bottom line. of this whole thing.
Yeah.
The Democrats are coming around, and this fake Republican is coming around. Finally, they're going, it's about the economy and the southern border. Here's a few news articles to back that up. Here's CBS News. I posted this on the community chat for the channel yesterday. If you subscribe to our channel, then you'll see those community posts. CBS News poll finds voters remember Trump's economy as good, boosting Trump to national lead over Biden today. Nationally, he just went ahead of Biden. Trump did. Why? It's the economy that people remember. So all the gaslighting of all these people saying Biden's economy is good, Biden's economy is good, the people don't remember it that way, you brainwashers.
That's
As Super
facts.
Tuesday makes an historic rematch, all but official, voters are comparing not just two presidents, but two presidencies. And right now, former President Donald Trump emerges from that comparison as the front runner. He leads President Biden by 4 points nationally, his largest lead to date. Here's why. Voters recall the economy under Trump more fondly than they rate the economy now. That means reality won out over the lies of The View. While neither gets great marks, voters today look back on Trump's presidency with relatively better retrospective ratings than they'd rate Joe Biden's presidency so far.
And that's true, because when Trump was president, things was way better. You didn't see gas prices all out of control. You didn't see like the prices on buying a house was extremely high. You didn't see all of that. But since Biden been in office, look what we've been going through. This economy has just been terrible. I mean, Joe Biden has destroyed everything. Ever since he's been in office, ain't nothing been good. What has Joe Biden done that was good, that helped all of us? What has he done? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Haven't done nothing. That's the reason why people say that things, when Trump was in office, things was a lot better because you didn't see everything all out of control. You didn't see wars going on. You didn't see any of that. But you've been seeing it since Joe Biden been there. That's the reason why we got to get him up out of there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this country can be saved, but it can only be saved by Donald Trump. That's the only person that can save it right now, because Joe Biden is just going to keep messing it up just like he's been doing.
And remember, the Democrats thought all of this would be negated if they could just get some of these lawsuits to stick against Trump.
Yep.
But none of them are sticking. They're not working. So now they have to go back to the old issues of how's the economy? How were you under Trump? How's the border?
We have to realize that voters aren't necessarily following this 24-hour news cycle of the Trump drama. They're voting with their pocketbooks, and to beat him, it's going to come down to with a different alternative.
But I think they're also voting based upon a lot of the misinformation that they're getting from Fox News.
Oh, it's so lazy.
Misinformation.
As if Fox News. What about, the ratings of The View? What about your audience? Why is Fox News beating so much better at brainwashing people than you guys who are bury the needle against Trump?
Right, and from other outlets.
We're another outlet.
So I think that has a lot to do with why they're sticking with him in this cultish manner, and let's call it what it is. It feels like a cultish manner.
Why are you sticking with Biden in a cultish manner? See, what's good for Biden followers? Fine, we're in a cult. But then you're in a cult too for sticking to Biden, because you're all five of you are going to vote for Biden. Yep. You are not going to vote for Trump.
Exactly. They just go to show you're right about that, Doug. They don't like Trump, but they going to sit there and vote for Biden, somebody who's destroying this country. They won't close the borders. Inflation was high as crap. You can't even buy a house right now, and I'm pissed. God damn. But yet they all gonna vote for Joe Biden. We pretty much know that. And this man hasn't done nothing. has just destroyed this country. But you got these women they're sitting on this panel, they're still going to just go vote for Joe Biden just because they don't like Donald Trump. And they know deep down inside that Donald Trump's policies is way better than Joe Biden. They know that, but they won't even admit it. Look at Whoopi. She won't even call Donald Trump by his name. She always want to say, you know, they let you know who off the hook. They let you know who. She like to call Donald Trump you know who. She won't even call the man name. Donald Trump ain't did nothing to this woman. What has Donald Trump done to you personally for you to always attack him like this? This man hasn't done anything to you personally, but they sit on this show all day, every day, talking crap about Donald Trump, but don't have not one thing to say about Joe Biden. Not one thing. But now they up here all mad at the Supreme Court. They mad at SCOTUS. They are pissed off that these judges voted unanimously for Donald Trump, and they don't like it. But let them would have kept it like the normal state court did and been like, you know what, Trump gonna have to stay out. Oh, they have been happy with SCOTUS then, but since it wasn't in their favor, now they mad, and it's crazy.
So you are sticking to him in a cultish manner, regardless of how the economy is doing and how the law, even the Supreme Court, agrees with Trump. Your little cult makes you vote for Biden.
But to your point, yes, they didn't find that he was an insurrectionist. They didn't reach that issue. But what they did do when you read the entire opinion is even if he were an insurrectionist, they have somehow insulated him.
They didn't find he was an insurrectionist, but even if he was an insurrectionist, you could not use this law against him. That's what they decided, and that is extremely correct.
So if he is found to be an insurrectionist, the way I read this, he can still be the president of the United States. And I thought that the 14th Amendment and our framers knew better.
Here's where you're wrong again. I'm so sorry.
She looked like she's about to... Y'all, look at her face. This woman looked like she's about to cry. Donald Trump has not been convicted of no insurrection. Just because they're trying to say he was a part of it, he hasn't been convicted of that. And now she's sitting up here just looking like she's about to cry. I mean, my God.
Framers knew better.
Here's where you're wrong again. I'm so sorry to embarrass you on this, Sonny. The framers... it didn't come up to the framers because the insurrectionist clause, that whole thing didn't come about until the Civil War. It was the Civil War that said people in the South were insurrectionists and so were disqualified from being the president. So that the framers never would have weighed in on it because it was about 75 years later. So now you know this was never going to be something that the founders envisioned. It's something that the Civil War level Supreme Court weighed in on, and now it does not in any way apply to Trump. Thanks for playing. I'm Doug in exile.
Shout out to Doug. Another great video. Like I said before, make sure y'all go subscribe to Doug. Let him know that Adogg sent you. He's doing a great job, and I will always continue to promote Doug. Love his videos. I learn a lot from him, and I don't have a problem being on camera saying that. I have learned a lot listening from Doug. Shout out to him. But obviously, y'all heard what I had to say. They sent up here, they mad. You know, they love to throw their little threats out there. Oh boy, they mad at the Supreme Court, boy. Woo-wee. If they mad at the Supreme Court, just imagine how mad they're going to be when Donald Trump get reelected for president. I can't wait to do that video. I'm going to go off. But y'all stay tuned for that. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.